This is the last section of 8.2, part 3. So we're just going to talk about ways that we can mislead with statistics. Various things we can do. We can change the scale on the vertical or horizontal axis. We also, on the vertical axis, cannot start with 0. We can make distortions with sizes of pictures in the use of pictographs. And other methods involve just straight out bad data. So the first example here, we're looking at manager salaries and worker salaries. And if we look at the pictograph, you can conclude that the manager's salaries must be way more because that picture of the money bag is much, much bigger than the worker's salary. This may or may not be true, but the way this is depicted, it looks like there's a big difference. So let's check out the second one. So the second one I'm looking at here is a chart that has a frequency starting at 40, not 0, and going to 60. And the chart is about, do you support or oppose same-sex marriage? So if we look at this, 45% support and 55% oppose. But because the scale starts at 40 and goes to 60, it looks like there's a big difference when only it's 10%. So again, if you mess with the scale, then you can, lead the viewer in a particular way. And finally, this last example over here is a pie chart. And if we look at the pie chart, one thing we have to know about pie charts is they have to sum to 100%. In this particular one, if we look at these two individuals, and if we add the percentages up, I get 42 plus 64. That is 106. That exceeds 100%. And not to mention, we haven't even added in McKee or Brown. So this is exactly an example of bad data. Now, I want to show you what we can do here. So this is showing you what one chart looks like if we keep the vertical axis from 0 to 200, and then what happens if we change the axis, the y-axis, from 120 to 180. So what we're looking at here is the top EPL teams by payroll, and the payroll is in million pounds, okay? So this first chart here that I'm looking at, if we look at it, Tottenham Hotspurs, Arsenal FC, Chelsea FC, and Manchester City all have about equal payroll amounts. And then we see that there's a small jump up to Manchester United, and they're at about like 175 million pounds. On this other side, we're starting at 120 and going to 80, so Tottenham Hotspurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City are all about equal, but then there's a huge jump up to Manchester United. So if we depict the data using the second one, it makes it look like Manchester United is paying, their payroll is way, way more than Manchester City or the rest of them. So again, this is ways we can mislead with statistics. All right, thank you for watching. Good luck on your homework.